Hey guys, today I'm going to do an unboxing of the new BEXLY 10X electric scooter. Here I've already pre-cut the box and I'll tell you what's inside and a bit about the scooter along the way. So once you receive the 10X, I'll lean the box towards you so you can see what you get. So first up, you get your battery charger. Very standard 3-pin plug, and also it comes with the Australian 3-pin plug, which is handy. Now it's very important when you're charging your scooter for the first time that you give it a full charge. Out of the factory they come with about a 60-70% battery charge. As tempting as it is to give it a ride, it's very important that you give it its full charge. Now up here in the corner you've got your green light and your red light. So the way you connect the scooter, connect the charger, is that you connect this to the scooter first. It's a 3-pin plug, and then you wind in the little socket around. And then after you've connected it to the scooter, then you need to connect it to the power point and switch that on. As I said, the first charge is important. Make sure the light is green before you disconnect it. A full charge with this battery pack, you're probably looking about sort of 8 to 9 hours. But what you can do is the 10X actually has a dual port. So if you pick up another charger, you can halve your charging time if you need to do a fast charge. So that's your charger there. Comes with the multi-tool kit, which has all different size Allen keys, Phillips head, and socket. So if you need to adjust anything on your scooter, everything you'll need is right here. What else comes in the box is these black plugs. What they are is they just go on the nuts on your actual wheels just to protect your ankle, so if you knock your ankle on it, it doesn't take any skin. Look, they're pretty handy, and they pop that on and then gives a bit of a safety thing for sharp edges. Next, I'll take this out of the box and we'll show you how to put it all together. So once you get the stem up, it's very important that this collar goes all the way down to the very bottom. Now occasionally when you put the stem up, if it can't get to a complete vertical position, there's 2 little bolts at the front. Now with your Allen key set, just loosen them a little bit so the actual stem goes completely upright. Once it's upright, slide the collar down. Then with here on the side here, tighten the nuts so it's quite tight, not super tight, but enough that when you close the clasp up, it's actually quite firm, because the firmer the clasp is, the actual firmer the stem will be, so that's quite important. If down the track you find that the stem or the mast does have a bit of play, all you need to do is go back to this, open it up, tighten it a little bit more, a few more turns, and then really give it a tight nudge forward, but I'll do that now. And then slowly close and give it a lot of pressure until it's fully engaged around the stem. You want this to be definitely nice and firm. There we go, rock solid. Now what I'll do is I'll take you through a step-by-step of how to connect the handlebars correctly. So what I've done here is I've just taken out the 3 bolts and left 1 in, put the handlebar in, and then just give it a slight tighten there, and then you can line up your other 3 screws. This part is very important, that when you're tightening your screws, if you find that there's quite a lot of pressure on the screws, just realign this so the screws go in quite freely. Otherwise what can happen is you can cross thread the actual screw. So this is quite an important part, to make sure that everything just glides in nicely like this. Once you've got all 4 screws in, just tighten it with your toolkit. The 4mm is the one for these bolts, and tighten all the way, and then bring your handlebar up to the position that you want and tighten them nice and tight so it gives you that firmness. Okay guys, once your 4 screws are in, your handlebars attached, and make sure that your lever is all nice and strong and attached firmly. Then next we'll go onto the LCD screen. What you do is turn on your key, turned on, hold the power button down, and then you can see it's in gear 1. What you can do to change your gears, you can just click on the mode, goes to mode gear 2 and gear 3. So here I'll go through some of the options. Here you have an eco and turbo button and a single and dual. What that means is if you push that in, you're on a twin motor. If you engage that back out, it goes into single mode. You can actually do this on the fly, which is good, that if you need to go up a hill, you push that red button and then your twin motor engages. Here, as I was saying about the suspension, this is the nut that you adjust your disc brakes, and here you've got your dual port. So there's for the single motor, so the single battery charger, and if you want to plug in 2, there you go. And this is just the back fin. This fin comes in very handy when you're in dual motor, and you can sort of rest your back foot on this, which propels your body weight forward, which gives you a much stable ride. And here's your brakes. So once you've got everything all connected, you've got your stem tightened, you've got your 4 bolts on the mast all nice and tight, you've got your levers adjusted to where you want them to. Next I'll go through some brakes and suspension. So here you've got front disc brakes and rear disc brakes. You've got a coiled suspension at the front and rear, which is adjustable. So if you want to go a bit more of a rigid ride, you can lower this down with a shifter, same with the front and the rear. Or if you want a bit of a smoother ride, you just anti-clockwise the nut up and it'd be a bit smoother. At the moment it's sort of set out of the factory about medium, which is a quite comfortable ride, but you can sort of adjust things along the way. So just going through some specs of the actual scooter. It's a 1000 watt motor in the front and a 1000 watt motor in the rear, which actually peaks about 3200 watts, which gives you a top speed of about 55 to 60 kilometers an hour, depending on your terrain and the weight of the rider. Now there's 2 battery options with the 10X. You've got an 18 amp hour battery, which you can expect a realistic kilometer range of about sort of 40 to 45 kilometers. And if you go the choice of the upgrade to the 23 amp hour battery, you can expect an extra 20 kilometers on top of that. So you probably expect something around the 60 kilometer range, which is fantastic for those people who want to go for long rides into the city or down dirt tracks and stuff like that. Hope you go out and enjoy the new BEXLY 10X, and thanks for watching.